Hello everyone, my name is Adora George, and first and foremost I'd like to apologize for my camera. I've been having technical difficulties all day and I haven't been able to get it to work, but I figured I'd post my speech as is. Today I'll be talking about how the refrigerator was invented. I'd like to take you back to a time when the concept of refrigeration was more of a dream than reality. Before we could open our fridges and find ice cream, fresh produce, or leftovers from last night's dinner. This is the story of how the refrigerator was invented, and how a series of brilliant minds turned a simple need into one of the most essential household appliances we use today. Let's rewind to the 18th century. Back then, preserving food wasn't nearly as easy as it is now. People had to rely on ice houses, wooden structures insulated with straw or sawdust just to keep food from spoiling. But the idea of actually cooling something on demand was still far out of reach. That is, until a man named William Cruikshank, a Scottish chemist, came along. In the 1750s, he made some early advances in refrigeration by experimenting with liquids that could absorb heat, essentially laying the groundwork for what would become modern refrigeration. Fast forward a few decades, and we meet Jacob Perkins, an American inventor who is often called the father of refrigeration. In 1834, Perkins patented the first practical refrigerating machine. His invention used the vapor compression cycle to cool air, similar to what we find in our modern refrigerators today. However, Perkins' design was far from perfect. His invention was bulky, impractical, and not very effective, but he had sparked the idea that would eventually lead to change. As the years went on, others built on Perkins' work. John Gorrie, a physician in Florida, invented a mechanical ice-making machine in the 1840s to treat patients with tropical diseases by cooling down the air. His machine, though not a commercial success, was another critical step toward the development of refrigeration technology. Gorrie even dreamed of using it to cool entire buildings, a vision that feels incredibly futuristic considering where we are today. By the 1870s, refrigerators started making their way into the commercial world, especially in the meatpacking industry. But it wasn't until the early 1900s that household refrigerators began to appear. This was thanks to the innovations from people like Fred W. Wolf Jr., who developed the first electric refrigerator in 1913. These electric models, however, were still a luxury, not yet commonplace in every home. The real turning point came in 1927 when General Electric introduced the first refrigerator that was both affordable and practical for the average family. Their model used a safer, more reliable refrigerant than the earlier versions, and with it, refrigeration found its way into kitchens across the country and eventually the world. So from ice houses to electric fridges, what started as a simple desire to keep food cool became one of the most significant technological advancements in our everyday lives. Today, refrigerators are a crucial part of our kitchens, preserving not just food, but also time and convenience. So next time you reach for a cold drink or store your leftovers, take a moment to think about the long journey of innovation that made it all possible. Thank you.